Title: On Christmas Eve, my wife brought the family together for a moment that would change everything. With trembling hands, she raised the divorce papers and declared, "I'm finally leaving him." I stood in silence while the cheers echoed around me. I smiled, my heart racing. "Perfect timing," I said, "now open your gifts." They gasped, their screams piercing the air as they beheld my creation. "This can't be real," my wife sobbed, her Christmas unraveling into a haunting nightmare. Chapter 1. The Unexpected Gift. Christmas Eve had always held a special place in my heart. Lights sparkled on the tree, snow blanketed the windows, and the air was thick with the warm scent of cinnamon and pine. That year, an unsettling feeling gripped me. My wife, Vanessa, had been unnervingly giddy for days, her cheerfulness raising alarms in my mind. She had demanded to host the whole extended family at our home, a task she typically loathed. Her parents arrived unexpectedly. Her brother, who had always kept me at arm's length, showed up with his new girlfriend. My sister, who hadn't set foot here in 3 long years, was finally back. The living room buzzed with energy, laughter ricocheting off the walls as wine and stories flowed freely among friends. I remained silent, perched at the edge of the fireplace, my eyes fixed on Vanessa as she moved with a restless energy. "All right, everyone," she declared, her glass ringing sharply against the others. "Before we dive into the gifts, I have something truly special to share." I fixed my eyes on her. My hands remained steady, my breath even, for I was all too aware of what lay ahead. Vanessa marched to the center of the room, raising a manila folder high, as if it were a hard-won trophy. "Merry Christmas," she proclaimed, her eyes sparkling with a mix of triumph and mischief. "I'm done. These are the divorce papers, and I'm finally breaking free." A heavy silence hung in the air. Then, a resounding cheer, a wave of applause. Her mother applauded, tears glistening in her eyes, while her brother offered a supportive fist bump. My sister appeared as if the wind had been knocked out of her, a haunting emptiness in her eyes. "But me?" A smile broke across my face. "Just in time," I remarked, rising to my feet and fastening my sweater. "Now, unveil your treasures." Whispers of uncertainty filled the air, yet the gifts lay poised beneath the tree, each one meticulously wrapped and tagged. Vanessa paused, doubt creeping in like a shadow. "Gifts? Really?" I gestured toward the gold box bearing her name. "Begin with what belongs to you." She let out a brief laugh, striving to regain her momentum, and knelt to rip open the wrapping. Within lay a leather-bound album. Vanessa's holiday memories unfold like a vivid dream. With a swift motion, she opened it. The first page captured a moment of her and her lover, caught in laughter, lips almost touching, a snapshot of stolen joy. Her jaw fell open. Silence enveloped the room, heavy and suffocating. She flipped through the pages, each one pulling her deeper into the story. Each piece more incriminating than the last: dates, receipts, hotel check-ins, GPS logs, screenshots of messages. Her face drained of color, then twisted with nausea. Her mother inhaled sharply. Her father gasped, the wine spilling from his lips. Her brother's girlfriend whispered, "Oh my God." Yet, I was far from done. Each gift in that room whispered a fragment of the tale waiting to be unveiled. Chapter 2. A present for each visitor. Vanessa's hands shook as she closed the album, a wave of memories crashing over her. "Where did you find these?" she hissed, her voice a fragile whisper. I remained silent. I pointed to the other gifts, lingering beneath the tree, untouched and full of promise. I nodded politely to Vanessa's mom. "From me." "Proceed." Her mother's eyes held a flicker of concern, yet she felt an undeniable pull. With trembling hands, she loosened the red ribbon and lifted the lid of the small rectangular box. Within lay a printed email chain. Unaware, she spoke the first line, her voice trembling with unspoken weight. Subject: "Should I reveal the truth about you and the pool boy?" Her face went pale, a haunting emptiness taking over. Her eyes widened as she stared at me, breath caught in her throat. Oh, there's more, I whispered softly. Keep going. She did it, and there it stood. A poignant exchange unfolds between Vanessa and her mother. It wasn't merely the affair, it was the betrayal, the meticulous planning behind my back, their laughter echoing in my mind as I realized how blind I had been to their cruelty. It contained chilling messages boasting about their plans to keep the house and drain me for alimony. The room hung in a heavy silence. Silence fell, heavy and profound, as the wineglasses ceased their cheerful clinking. I faced Vanessa's brother. It's your moment now. He lifted the lid of his box. A heavy pile of photocopied credit card statements emerged, each one bearing my name, all maxed out from business ventures he never reimbursed. Oh, and just so you know, you're under audit. Wishing you a joyful Christmas filled with warmth and love. Vanessa gripped the couch's armrest as if it were her only salvation. What is happening here? Text, I warned you, I insisted, stay calm and composed. Presentations of thoughtfulness. In the end, fate delivers its reckoning to all. At last, my sister found her voice. You knew all along? A smile broke across my face. Absolutely. I held my breath, anticipating the moment to strike. With a heavy heart, I turned to Vanessa and approached her, each step deliberate and filled with unspoken tension. You believed this was your shining hour, didn't you? You believed I'd crumble before them all. You'd bring me to my knees, strip away everything, and glide into your new life with him, basking in your hollow victory. She blinked, overwhelmed. I leaned in closer, my voice barely above a whisper, just for her ears. Here's the thing, I said. Is this the house? It belongs to me. I purchased it in my name prior to the wedding. The prenup you didn't even remember signing? Is it still relevant? The venture you believed we shared? I severed our ties 8 months back, in silence, by the law. She parted her lips, yet silence enveloped her. What about your boyfriend? I included it. He's already facing a fraud investigation. Do you remember the money he promised you? Gone, just like that. Her mouth gaped in shock. I glanced back at the others in the room. Wishing you all a Merry Christmas. Drinks await in the kitchen. As I stepped through the front door into the snow, I left behind a haunting silence, broken spirits, and the remnants of a carefully crafted plan, all unraveled in a single night. Chapter 3: The aftermath. The snow crunched under my boots as I stepped outside, the sharp winter air striking me like a baptism. Behind me, voices surged, a cacophony of shouts, tears, disbelief, and accusations spiraling wildly. I forged ahead, leaving the past behind. I had no reason to. The plan unfolded perfectly. It was never merely revenge. It was all about control, precision, making them think they had triumphed, until that heart-stopping instant when the ground vanished beneath their feet. Reaching my car, I pulled out my phone, my fingers trembling as I scrolled to a folder marked, Failsafe Christmas Drop. Within lay the backups of everything: digital copies, audio recordings, signed affidavits, bank transfer logs, and hidden camera footage capturing Vanessa's conversations with her mother and brother. Each piece was timestamped, each one admissible. I launched the secure cloud app and pressed send all. To my divorce attorney, my accountant, the local police department's financial crimes division, alongside a relentless journalist, poised for the long-awaited revelation of Vanessa's family's dark secrets. Inside the house, turmoil erupted. I received a text from my sister. They're unraveling. Vanessa's mom struck her, the sting echoing in the silence. Your brother-in-law just lost his lunch. Vanessa's been reaching out to you. This is insane. I let the call ring out, silence enveloping me, and then another. Then one more. I sped to the town's edge, where a tiny cafe lingered, caught between a florist and a bookstore, a refuge of stillness. A friend I had trusted for years stood there, waiting for me. Grace. With a warm smile, she offered me a steaming cup of coffee. "Are you all right?" I nodded, the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air. "It's over." Her smile held a secret. "They believed they had you cornered." "They always do," I said, savoring the warmth. In that moment, my phone buzzed once more. Message waiting. Vanessa's voice trembled with urgency, filled with a raw sense of desperation. "I need to talk. Can we?" I never expected him to vanish like that. I never intended for it to escalate like this. "You will not destroy my family. We can make this right." I pressed delete. This was never about mending anything, it was a moment of closure. Ensuring that betrayal carries the weight it deserves. Indeed, it had. Intrigued. Chapter 4. A shattered family. When Vanessa's family finally understood the truth of my actions, it was too late to undo the harm. Her mother, once smug over wine, had her assets frozen by the IRS, all because of the anonymous financial packet I sent. The betrayal hung heavy in the air. Years of tax evasion, hidden offshore transfers, and luxury gifts tied to bribed board members now lay bare in a gripping investigation. Her brother, the one who constantly mocked me about what it meant to be a real man and earn real money? Within 48 hours of that fateful Christmas night, he found himself stripped of his position on the city's public planning board. The recording of him negotiating secret land deals for kickbacks struck a nerve with the ethics committee. Or the media. What about Vanessa? She was utterly caught off guard. She once dismissed our prenup as mere formality, but she missed a crucial clause that could change everything. A revelation that could shatter her claim to everything, should infidelity be uncovered. The images, the receipts, the hotel check-ins, all in her name, charged to our shared credit cards. It was sealed tight. As she struggled against it, my lawyer unleashed the devastating truth. The house she called home. The car she drove held secrets of her past. The business she insisted she had sold. They belonged to someone else, always out of reach. 6 months ago, I had silently erased her name from everything, the moment I sensed the shift in her demeanor. Whispers of hidden messages, midnight escapes to yoga sanctuaries, and mysterious charges that linger in the shadows. She sold our business? A counterfeit paper. She believed the buyer was genuine, unaware that I had already sold it to a holding company in my name. And when she transferred the $400K to a private account? It belonged to me. A mere illusion. The app that monitored my finances, a deadly snare of sweetness. I had placed it to follow her every step. Upon returning from their honeymoon, filled with dreams of a fresh start and the thrill of newfound wealth, they were met with a frozen account, a looming fraud charge, and their faces plastered across local business journals, branded as the con artists of Christmas. What about me? From a distance, I sipped champagne in a cabin I had acquired months prior, hidden away under a private trust, as the events unfolded before me. Chapter 5. The Last Strike. On the morning after Christmas, I found myself staring at 37 missed calls. Vanessa. His arrival changed everything. Her mother loomed large in her heart, a presence both comforting and haunting. Her brother, a shadow in her heart. Even the family lawyer who once dismissed me with arrogance, labeling me as the silent type who would crumble. I left them all unanswered. Instead, I sat with a steaming cup of strong black coffee, eyes glued to the local morning news as the anchor's voice cut through the silence. A powerful family is engulfed in scandal as shocking truths of tax fraud, forged asset transfers, and deep marital betrayal emerge, igniting public outrage. Authorities are delving into the tangled web of a disgraced planning official, a botched business sale, and a chilling case of suspected digital bank fraud. What's captured in that image? A candid capture of Vanessa and her boyfriend, just back from the airport, their expressions revealing a world of unspoken emotions, overwhelmed by a sea of reporters. Her face concealed by dark sunglasses. he hides behind a hoodie. By afternoon, their faces were everywhere. Christmas Con was all over social media, with internet detectives unearthing every shocking detail of her affair, the phony sale, and the unexpected divorce party. Even her employer, the non-profit where she had just landed a director's position, released a statement to distance themselves. She lost her job just as the sun dipped below the horizon. Then the bank arrived. She entered with a light-hearted spirit, eager to withdraw from the decoy account, laughter spilling from her lips. But the teller's frozen notice shattered her joy, the polite request to leave cutting deeper than she expected. She insisted on confronting the manager. They led her away, the weight of the moment heavy in the air. Desperation clawed at him as he dialed his parents, seeking a lifeline in the chaos. They turned away, shame washing over them as they grappled with the reality of their son's involvement in the scandal. They silenced him in an instant. That night, a video erupted online, capturing hearts and stirring emotions. Vanessa's anguished cries echoed in the driveway of our old home, her fists striking the front door while movers piled her last belongings onto the curb. A neighbor's voice trembled on camera, "Didn't she throw him out last year?" Another responded, "Seems she outsmarted herself." In my cabin, I found one last email from her, simply titled, "Please." It said, "You win." I regretted deeply. I never imagined it would come to this. I need to talk. Can we? The cursor blinked relentlessly as I summoned the courage to type a single word. No. And pressed send. Epilogue. Calm follows chaos. 6 months later, the snow had melted, the chaos had faded, and the silence that once felt stifling had transformed into a serene calm. On the porch of my mountain cabin, I gazed at the pines, their swaying forms whispering secrets in the breeze. No court dates. Just silence, heavy and suffocating. There are no threats, nothing but calm. The soft crunch of leaves breaks the silence as hikers tread softly by. Vanessa stood alone, her world shattered, her purpose, her legacy. A fresh beginning. When the lawsuits emerged, her boyfriend vanished without a trace. What about her family? One by one, they silently abandoned her, the weight of their betrayal heavy as they grasped the truth. They had mocked and turned against a man who had always been a master of patience. The probe into the fraudulent business sale culminated in a shocking revelation. The forged contracts they created ensnared them in a web of tax fraud and embezzlement. The state pressed forward with charges. Her assets lay in a chilling stillness. She took the plunge into bankruptcy. What about me? I poured everything back in. Silently, with precision. With the original business still in my name and a cunning digital paper trail, I snatched back the clients she believed were hers. Once the truth was revealed, joy surged through most as they embraced their return. The business surged back to life. I assembled a tight-knit, devoted team. Then, I started to write, chronicling the entire tale under a pseudonym. The book struck deep. Struck a chord with countless souls across the web. A publisher embraced it. In an instant, I became more than a businessman. I was a writer, a lone survivor. A man who remained silent. Stood still, just experienced. Anticipated. And hit at the moment of deepest pain, only on my terms. The lesson to be learned. Revenge can stem from a deeper place than mere anger. At times, it's all about waiting. Exactness. And silence, so overwhelming, reverberates through time. Was this act of vengeance truly warranted? Share your thoughts on this story in the comments below. Just like the tale. If you believe this story